Welcome back to Coffee, Wine, or Tea, where coffee is for thoughts, wine is for truth, and tea is for drama.
And today's topic is one people argue about all the time.
We're asking the question nobody seems to agree on. Are people too sensitive now, or are we just more aware?
And I already know some people are going to feel called out.
Before we get into it, sip check. I'm having a hot coffee today because this conversation needs clarity.
And I'm choosing wine. This topic requires honesty and a little calm.
So what are you sipping today? Coffee, wine, or tea? When people say everyone is too sensitive these days, what does that bring up for you?
Honestly, I think back to how we were raised. If something hurt your feelings, you were told to move on. No one asked how you felt, you just dealt with it. So when I see how openly people talk about emotions now, it feels very different.
And I think that's the shift. People were always sensitive. They just didn't have the space to say it out loud. I remember being told I was too sensitive, just for reacting to something that genuinely hurt me.
That's true. We didn't have the language back then. You were strong or you were weak. There wasn't much in between.
Exactly. Awareness doesn't mean fragility. It means you finally understand yourself. If this conversation already has you thinking, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss future episodes.
We talk about real life and real perspectives every time.
Do you think social media made this worse?
Absolutely. I've seen people end friendships over one post or one comment. In my day, disagreements happened face to face.
Now it's instant reactions. No pause, no processing.
And sometimes that's necessary. But sometimes it's just avoiding a hard conversation.
Not every uncomfortable moment is toxic. All right, it's time for sip or spill. People today are too sensitive.
Spill. People were always sensitive. They just didn't have a platform to talk about it.
Spill. Awareness gets mislabeled as sensitivity. What used to be called toughening up was actually emotional suppression.
Sip. We definitely had to suppress our feelings.
Sip. Survival was prioritized over understanding emotions. Social media has made people more reactive than reflective.
Sip. Definitely.
Sip, absolutely. Sometimes people say, you're too sensitive instead of taking responsibility.
Sometimes people say, you're too sensitive instead of taking responsibility.
Sip. It's often easier than apologizing. I think awareness is uncomfortable because it forces people to look at themselves.
And resilience shouldn't mean silence.
There's a difference between being overly reactive and being emotionally intelligent.
And finding that balance takes maturity.
If this conversation resonated with you, make sure you're subscribed.
And share this with someone who's had this conversation before.
Now we want to hear from you. Do you think people today are too sensitive or just more aware?
Drop your thoughts in the comments.
And tell us, are you team coffee, wine, or tea today?
Thanks for joining us for another episode of Coffee, Wine, or Tea. See you next sip.